Chapter 11 The Back Row by the Window, the Hometown of the King. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The faces of those who have awakened their powers are more or less excited, while those who have not awakened are looking at the playground from the window. There are quite a few people in the whole school who have awakened their abilities, even if it doesn't reach 50%, it's not much worse. In the future, with the effect of aura, more and more people will awaken their abilities. Bai Xian was standing with Sun Chang at this time. His face was expressionless, and his whole body exuded an aura of "don't allow strangers to enter," which stood out in the more or less excited crowd on the playground, but those who know it will not be surprised, and even find it funny. Just like Bai Xian, when he saw him, he couldn't help thinking of the scene of Sun Chang performing magic in the classroom, and unconsciously showed a weird expression on his face that wanted to laugh but didn't dare to laugh. Sun Chang turned his head to look at Bai Xian. His eyes were full of resentment. "Xiao Bai, did I look funny in the classroom?" You can change rhetorical questions into declarative sentences. It's not a question of whether it's funny or not. It's just a joke. Ha 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 ha. Bai Xian couldn't hold back his laughter in the end. How did you manage to treat yourself as the protagonist after awakening the supernatural power? Think you are the only one in the whole world who has awakened the ability? Anyway, you can try it out, and post an anonymous post on the internet to ask. Or look at the websites of other countries. They are different from our country. If they awaken their powers, someone will definitely send them out to pretend. Forget it, you still want to pretend to be in front of Lele in the name of magic? We classmates who have been with you for 3 years don't know what you look like. If you really knew magic, you would have come out to perform. Just pick the second day of Qixing Lianju, your timing is too obvious. Also, how much do you care? With your trembling mental power that can only float a pen, what resistance do you have if you are discovered? Really? Speaking of this, Bai Xian couldn't stop wanting to complain. Sure enough, he was still too young. When he was so old in his previous life, if a classmate around him had awakened his abilities, even if he was the only one, Bai Xian would be able to guess something based on his understanding of the other party. There's no way, it's too familiar, and Bai Xian had read a lot of novels at that time. When his performance is very different from usual, Bai Xian will become suspicious. After being complained by Bai Xian, Sun Chang's face turned black. "Although what you said is true, at least save me." Some face. Just when he was about to say something, Zhang Weiyang walked to his side and patted him on the shoulder at some point. It's understandable to want to be the protagonist. Who doesn't want to be the protagonist, right? But we have to be self-aware, not to say that the protagonist must be handsome, but he must not be ugly. You are not qualified just for this. And even if the protagonist doesn't have 20, he must have 18, you don't have that either. Sun Chang was a little confused after hearing his words. I'm 18. I'm not talking about age. Zhang Weiyang glanced at him indifferently, and said calmly. I have that too. Shut up you bastard. After understanding what Zhang Weiyang said, Sun Chang's face turned from black to red and then green, and finally told Zhang Weiyang to shut up. Driving in broad daylight. Do you have a driver's license and you can drive? Driving without a license is illegal. Not only Sun Chang, but people in other classes around also thought of something after hearing Zhang Weiyang's words, then coughed twice, and looked at Zhang Weiyang with a slightly unkind look. What are you looking at? Don't you guys look at me? Zhang Weiyang stared at them one by one after noticing their eyes, and with his words, wouldn't it be an admission if he looked at him again, and they turned their heads away one by one. Cut. I really want to hit him. It's not just you, I want it too. The key is this guy's expression, he deserves a beating. Among other things, Zhang Weiyang's current expression is exactly the same as a certain expression pack, which makes people unable to stop their anger. Forget it, see the one next to him. Before the school basketball team, I heard that he also practiced boxing, and his muscles are hard. Your wind ability is not enough to tickle him. Someone pointed to Bai Xian beside Zhang Weiyang, and said in a low voice, because of consciously exercising his body after rebirth, Bai Xian's physical fitness is not generally good. At least in high school, it can be regarded as the only existence. As far as the other party's wind power has just been awakened, being able to float the rubber like Lele is astonishing. It is absolutely impossible to be Bai Xian's opponent. If the ability continues to be used, it will probably make Bai Xian feel refreshed. That he sized up Bai Xian twice, and then sized himself up twice. Well, I think what you say makes sense. Sensing his gaze, Bai Xian was also speechless for a while. Why did he have something to do with him again? And Zhang Weiyang, what can you say that is not good? But when it comes to that thing, 20 or 18, how many people in China can have this length? Too exaggerated. However, Bai Xian was still too young. In the next second, Zhang Weiyang looked at him, and said with great interest, "If you want me to say, if there is really a protagonist between us, then Bai Xian has an 80% possibility." Okay. If you want to say this, then I won't be sleepy. They wanted to see why Bai Xian was said by Zhang Weiyang to have the possibility of becoming the protagonist. First of all, its appearance. When the school basketball team was in school, which of the girls who watched basketball didn't go to Bai Xian? The family is rich and is a rich second generation. Not to mention studying, the top 10 in the whole grade, although they are not number 1, but those few who know understand it, no matter whether it is talent or attitude towards learning, they suddenly fail. Bai Xian is different. This guy goes to bed at 10 o'clock every day. No matter whether he is a top student or a scumbag, he can't do this alone, right? Handsome, good at studying, rich in family, and excellent in physical fitness. What is the key point? Bai Xuan's seat is the back row by the window, brothers. The back row is by the window, Wang's hometown. That's the protagonist's exclusive seat. It stands to reason that high schools change seats every once in a while. It is impossible for a person to sit in one seat for a long time. However, the head teacher of Bai Xuan's class has directly explained from the first year of high school that the seat is determined by grades. It doesn't matter where you want to sit or who you sit with, but you have to show the corresponding results. So, it's not that there are no better grades in the class than Bai Xian, but the other party always chooses the front seat. As time passes, that seat becomes Bai Xuan's exclusive seat. End of this chapter. Chapter 12. The group function is turned on, the temptation from the lottery. You are listening at novelfull.audio. But he just thinks that location is better. It is convenient to look at the green outside the window after his eyes are sore. This can relax the eyes and avoid myopia. He was myopic in his previous life and paid great attention to this aspect. Other than that, really no other ideas. Of course, this is just the setting of the genius style in recent years. The useless style was more popular before. If you look at it using the setting of the useless style, then Bai Xian is the setting of the villain. So, be sober. Where in the real world are there any protagonists who are not protagonists? When thinking about the protagonist, think about the heroine first. Do you think there is such a perfect woman in reality as described in the novel? If there was one, it would have been famous long ago. Anyway, he doesn't believe that there are protagonists in the world. Those are just things in novels. Reality is reality, and the dragon group he imagined is only based on a possible basis. After hearing Zhang Weiyang's words, everyone patted their faces to wake themselves up. The pressure of the senior year and the awakening of abilities really made their thinking a little abnormal. In reality, there is no so-called protagonist, or everyone can become a protagonist. Instead of sinking into fantasy, it is better to work hard. Afterwards, everyone also discussed other matters, but they still used their abilities from time to time. I don't know if they want to improve their proficiency or perform for the students at the window. Bai Xian shrugged, and began to study his own ability. To be precise, it was the template made for him by the chat group. Name, Bai Xian, talent, son of nature. You who are favored by the world have the ability to control nature. All creations that belong to nature are your domain. Element resistance. You are, % resistant to elements, and any elemental attack cannot cause damage to you. Natural bonus. Your strength will become stronger in sunny days, rainy days, dark nights, morning light, strong winds, etc. Element control. You can freely use the elements that exist in nature. Remarks. 1. You have natural authority and are favored by the consciousness of the earth, and you have incredible power on the earth. Under special circumstances, you can give up materialism and choose idealism. remarks, 2, to some extent, you are no different from Reinhardt in the world from scratch. Do you understand? Anyway, Bai Xian couldn't understand. Both talent and ability are understandable, but the remark is really incomprehensible. What does it mean to give up materialism and choose idealism under special circumstances? You told me about the special situation and how to be idealistic. Bai Xian complained a little in his heart, but the second remark was a bit interesting, saying that there was no difference between himself and Reinhardt. How can I compare with the guy who has dozens of protections and can also generate protections by himself? Other authors wrote Reinhardt as his father, while he was waiting for the registration and studying the remarks of the chat group. The voice of the chat group suddenly came to his ears. Ding, it is detected that the activity level of the chat group has reached level 1, and the group function is enabled. Ding, the group sign-in function is enabled, the group lottery function is enabled, and the group pawn function is enabled. Huh, full of activity. So fast, it seems that it has only been a day since I joined the chat group. It is estimated that I have accumulated a lot before, which is just enough. After all, I have only reached the first level, with some expectation. Bai Xian opened the introduction of the 3 functions. Group sign-in function introduction. Daily sign-in can get 1 to 10 points. Points can be used in group lottery. Group lottery function introduction. The lottery items are random, including all items in the world of group members, and each lottery will consume points. Group pawn function introduction. The pawn function includes permanent pawn and temporary pawn, and the points obtained for different values are different. Note, when pawning an intelligent creature, the intelligent creature must not have resistance consciousness. Note, temporary pawns that have not been redeemed within the specified time will automatically enter the group lottery pool. Ordinary group owner. Good guy, I thought it would take 10 people to open a new function, but I didn't expect that it would be enough if the group's activity level was reached. Ordinary group leader. Why didn't you say it earlier? If you said it earlier, I would refresh my screen every day. Su Yunqing puffed her mouth. It was different from the chat group she saw in her previous life, and this chat group is not caring at all, and doesn't say anything to the group owner. I have nothing but a % discount. Wait, can this % discount lucky draw be used? By the way, why the group mall function is not turned on this time? Ding, the group owner's doubts have been detected, and the privilege host can be used in the group lottery function. It's almost there. Hearing what the chat group said, Su Yunqing nodded in satisfaction. That's it. Meow, draw a lottery. Meow, if Meow's luck is bad. After reading the memory copy, it sincerely felt that its luck was not very good. The worst elf. We don't even have points. Is it too early to think about the lottery? Child of nature, I see that I have a chance to draw a lottery. Do you have any? Be my son. Ku la la la, I have a chance too. Ordinary group owner. Group member benefits. That's great. Live or die depends on this lottery. Ordinary group leader. God bless, give me a phantom beast devil fruit. I don't ask too much. Kaido's azure dragon will do. Boil daegu into soup. Are you not asking too much? The fruits of the phantom beast are so precious. Boil daegu into soup. It's different for me. The natural shiny fruit will do. It's a perfect match with my Tiga. Worst elf. Speaking of Tiga, hasn't your plot started yet? Tokisaki Kurumi asked curiously. She is very curious about the world of daegu, and the power of Ultraman also made her realize the power of the giants of light. If she had that kind of power, she'd be prime elf. Well, it's still worse, and she has no possibility of becoming light, which she has a deep understanding of. Boil daegu into soup. Not yet. For daegu, it wouldn't be a bad thing if it keeps going peacefully like this. There is no Tiga, no monsters, everything is so beautiful, even without the power of Tiga. What is it? Uchiha Dance King. Although the power of Ultraman is powerful, it is only external force after all. Uchiha Dance King, it can only maintain the strength for 3 minutes, so don't worry about it. Uchiha Dance King, compared to the power of Ultraman, you should pay more attention to yourself. Rough fighting level, weak physical fitness, such you are weak even if you have strong power. Boil daegu into soup. Don't scold, it's already being changed. Boil daegu into soup. I have been exercising and practicing fighting recently, and it will definitely not be the same as in the memory copy. Uchiha Dance King, I hope so. End of this chapter. Chapter 13 The Intimate Giant Doll, The Dead White Beard. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ordinary Group Owner, stop talking about spoiling the fun. Has anyone tried this free lottery? Ordinary Group Leader, according to common sense, there should be a bonus for the first time. Be my son, ku la la la, let the old man give it a try. Boil daegu into soup, it's free anyway, I hope I won't get something too bad. Namikaze Minato, the items that include the worlds of each group member are really exciting. Worst Elf, just because you have all the items in each group member's world, the probability of being able to draw high-value items is even smaller. All items, even flowers, trees and vegetation are included. If you want to draw a good item among so many things, what a small probability it must be. Son of Nature, the question of probability should be considered in the chat group, and there should be a guarantee. Moreover, with our luck, the possibility of getting good things is not high, but it should not be possible if it is too bad. Son of Nature, now let's see what Dad, Madara, Deiko, Namikaze Minato, and the others will draw. There was a little curiosity in Bai Xian's eyes. He really wanted to know what kind of items the group members would get. At the same time, in the world of One Piece, Whitebeard stared blankly at the huge humanoid doll in his hand, his face full of disbelief. Although the technological direction of his world is different from the normal technological world, it doesn't mean that he doesn't know what it is. Even if he didn't know it, he would know it with the comments in the chat group. 1 imitation giant dolls, specially customized for giants. It is your best choice to relieve loneliness and release enthusiasm. Remarks, you see, I am not caring, // God Nima's thoughtfulness, do I need this kindness from you? If it wasn't for the lottery drawn by himself, and the object of the lottery was the chat group, he really wanted to chop it up with a Naginata. Fortunately, he deliberately walked to his room before the lottery draw, otherwise, if his son saw it, it would be a joke. Slightly relieved, a soft white light condensed in Whitebeard's hand, ready to tear the doll in his hand, but just when he was about to do it. Crench. Father, the banquet is going well, why did you leave? Is it your body? Marco, who was worried about Whitebeard's body, walked into the room and happened to see the huge real doll in Whitebeard's hand. Silence, the original caring words can't say anything at this moment. It is indeed a physical problem, but this problem cannot be solved by their sons. Dad is also at this age. Those of them who are sons really don't care about their father, and they don't pay attention to this issue at all. I don't even know when Dad customized the live doll, but no matter what, it can't be replaced by a doll. What's the matter, Marco? What did Daddy say? Also, why are you standing at the door? Jaws saw Marco standing still at the door of his father, asked a few questions suspiciously, and walked over. The other team captains were also a little curious and came over to have a look. Then, looking at the oversized doll in Dad's hands, they fell silent. Puff. I didn't expect you to be like this, old man. Father is worthy of being the strongest man in the world, he is really old and strong. Ha 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 ha. That I don't know who couldn't hold it back and laughed first, and the others couldn't help laughing too. They never thought that the old man would have such a side behind his back. Whitebeard's face turned from red to black, and then he threw the few people at the door out, and then closed the door heavily. The fame of the first life was ruined by the lottery. If this gets out, how can he be a father? But what he didn't know was that this was just the beginning. After Ace and the others were kicked out, they also discussed the important events of their father's life. We still have to pay attention to Dad's situation. But with Dad's body, ordinary women should not be able to bear it. Marco nodded, thinking about the more suitable women in the sea who can match the white beard in his mind, and finally said in unison with Ace and others. Big Mom. But this idea was rejected by them in the next second. It is absolutely impossible between Daddy and Big Mom, but apart from her, they couldn't think of a suitable person. Why don't you find a news agency to find a marriage for Dad? Although there are few giants, there should still be some. Jaws put forward his own idea. Marco and others looked at each other and nodded. It can only be this way. Whitebeard didn't expect that he would die in the whole ocean next. and the intimate and backstab of Marco and others gave Whitebeard an extra reason to train them. Ordinary group owner. What did everyone get? Ordinary group leader. Why hasn't anyone said anything yet? Worst elf. I guess the things I got were not good, and even a little embarrassing. Child of nature, I think you are right. Otherwise, they will definitely send it out to show off at the first time. Boil Daegu into soup. I don't know what to say, you can see for yourself. Boil Daegu into soup, picture.jpg, skill book, postpartum treatment of sows. 1 tap, you can master the highest level of sow postpartum handling skills, and become a sow friend in the pig world. Boil Daegu into soup. Who wants to be a friend of the sow? Why did I get this kind of skill book? Boil Daegu into soup. Why do you put this kind of thing in the lottery pool? Isn't this arousing people's mentality? Shooting skills, driving skills, fighting skills, he can accept any skills, why give him a sow's postpartum treatment? Ordinary group leader, Daegu and the sow. No, I can't imagine such a combination at all. Son of nature, although it's unimaginable to get this, it's actually not a bad thing. Son of nature, in the future, if you quit the victory team, you can still raise pigs, and we have a saying here, which is called raising pigs to get rich. Son of nature, would you feel better if you think about it this way? Boil Daegu into soup, I see. Shit. Even if I quit the winning team, I don't want to raise pigs. The worst elf, that can't be helped. Spread your hands. Jpg. Ordinary group leader, Master Madara. Dad, what did you get? Ordinary group leader, with Daegu at the bottom. No matter how bad it is, it's impossible, isn't it? Boil Daegu into soup. Although I don't want to admit it, there shouldn't be anything more wonderful than this. I think even a stone is better than it. End of this chapter. Chapter 14 Uchiha Obito Template, pure to the ultimate chat group. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Be my son, this, that. Uchiha Dance King, this. Son of nature, is this reaction, in your mind, even more embarrassing than the postpartum care of sows? The most evil elf, it's really curious, I really want to know what Whitebeard and Uchiha Madara have drawn. Boil Daeko into soup, you won't be afraid to post it. Uchiha Dancer, it's just luck, how could I not dare? Uchiha Dance Lord, picture.jpg, item, Master Steel Pipe. As the dancing king of the ninja world, this kind of diversified dance is perfect for you, carrying automatic mastery of master-level pole dancing skills, showing the beauty of women's bodies to the greatest extent. No one knows what kind of expression Uchiha Madara had on his face when he got this thing. And the chat group also showed him the video of pole dancing intimately. Is it nice? It is indeed beautiful. But what does this have to do with him? Does he need this kind of beauty? What does this dance that shows the beauty of women have to do with him? Uchiha Madara, you expect him Uchiha Madara to dance? Impossible, absolutely impossible. When Bai Xian saw the picture posted by Uchiha Madara, he couldn't help but click his tongue, like a godlike pole with pole dancing skills. The key is that he was also drawn by Uchiha Madara, which is simply awesome. At first, he thought this was the most embarrassing thing, but the giant doll with white beard and hair really made him laugh. If it is a normal person, it is not unbearable, but the chat group thoughtfully prepared a one that is about the same size as the white beard, which is very funny. Ordinary group leader, stomach hurts from laughing. Jpg. Ordinary group leader, what are you drawing? Ordinary group leader, postpartum treatment of sows, steel pipes, and real dolls. Ordinary group leader, is there nothing more normal? Su Yunqing was lying on the bed shaking constantly. The smile on his face could not be concealed at all. My mind is full of images of Daegu going to help the sow with postpartum care, Master Band dancing pole dance, and Whitebeard holding a supersized real-life doll. Uchiha Dance King, it's impossible to get good things in this kind of gift lottery. Be my son, the old man agrees. Boil Daegu into soup, agreed. That's it. Meow, picture.jpg, item, animal cat fruit. The eater will have all the abilities of a cat, including but not limited to super responsiveness, sense of smell, and softness of the body. Remarks, after eating, you are afraid of sea stones and sea water in the pirate world, and the effect of sea water in other worlds is halved. That's it, meow. This thing is useless to me, meow. It is a meow itself, it has the abilities that a cat should have and what it should not have. Ordinary group leader, Mau fruit, it's obviously just an ordinary animal fruit, but because of Dad and Madara, I actually think that Meow Meow is lucky. Ordinary group leader, is this all due to Piers, the worst elf? Although I don't know what Namikaze Minato has drawn, but after seeing the performance of the four of them, I don't think today is suitable for the lottery. Ordinary group leader, I can't agree more. Son of nature. Son of nature, the lottery is based on blood, not time. Son of nature, now smoking at least has a psychological comfort. Ordinary group leader, are you coming? Son of nature, try it, anyway, there are 3 at the bottom. Uchiha Dance King. Boil Daegu into soup. Be my son. If there are 3 of us at the bottom, you will be unscrupulous, you will regret it. Bai Xian clicked on the lucky draw function, and clicked on it without hesitation. How bad luck can someone who can travel through and get a chat group? Those 3 guys, they were a total accident. Ding, congratulations on getting the character template, Obito Uchiha. After fusion, you have all the abilities of the opponent. Ding, because the fit between the character template and the group members is only %, there will be unknowable changes after fusion. The voice in the chat group was still incomparably indifferent, but the meaning revealed this time made Bai Xian feel interesting. A character template that can obtain all the abilities of the other party after fusion, should it be called a chat group? This kind of thing can be done, this lottery function really has everything. But with a % fit, the compatibility between Obito Uchiha and I is really bad. Bai Xian shook his head, but it was understandable. Among other things, he couldn't do it just to make Lin an enemy of the entire ninja world. It is impossible for him to love someone so much, no one in the real world is worthy of him doing so much. There should be other measures, right? I just need his kaleidoscope Sharingan. He is very satisfied with his current character, and it is impossible to change his character in an unknown direction for the power of Uchiha Obito. What's more, for him, Uchiha Obito is worthy of his concern only Kamui. Others such as would escape, various ninjutsu, and taijutsu are not very important. Wait, what period of Obito Uchiha is this? Not from ninja school. Ding, the group member's inquiry was detected, and the template ability was deprived. Ding, the Uchiha bloodline has been taken away, and the kaleidoscope Sharingan has been taken away. Ding, is it fused? No need for now, answer my 2 questions first. Bai Xian waved his hand, with a thoughtful look in his eyes. Can Uchiha Obito's wooden escape be taken away? Ding, Obito Uchiha doesn't have wooden escape. What about ninjutsu? Ding, Obito Uchiha doesn't have ninjutsu. What the hell are you? Bai Xian rolled his eyes. Forget about Mudan, if you don't have ninjutsu, you are really joking with him. Even in the period of ninja school, at least one can still know the 3 body art, but after asking these 2 questions, he probably understood the meaning of this character template. The so-called all abilities are just the abilities of the characters themselves, talents, bloodlines, and the abilities extended from the bloodlines. Ninjutsu, that is a foreign object. Gymnastics, that is a foreign object. Illusion, that is also foreign. Anyway, the things that are cultivated the day after tomorrow are all foreign things. Uchiha Obito's character templates are only Uchiha blood and Sharingan. The reason why the kaleidoscope Sharingan can be opened is because Uchiha Obito opened the kaleidoscope Sharingan. If he opened the eternal kaleidoscope, what the chat group would deprive of was the eternal kaleidoscope Sharingan. No, the eternal kaleidoscope also needs another pair of kaleidoscope Sharingan, and it is estimated that it will also be recognized as a foreign object by the chat group. What, reincarnation eyes? Can the Uchiha blood alone evolve the eyes of reincarnation? Of course not, so, that's still foreign. End of this chapter. Chapter 15. The group owner who was banned from the chat group. I would like to call you the Strongs. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Fortunately, the one he drew was Uchiha Obito. If it was Kakashi and Namikaze Minato, there would probably be nothing. Oh, that's not right, there may be some kind of talent for swordsmanship or ninjutsu. Shaking his head, Bai Xian cut a picture of Uchiha's bloodline in kaleidoscope Sharingan and sent it to the group. Bai Xian, picture.jpg, Uchiha bloodline. From the bloodline of the Uchiha family in the Naruto world, after fusion, you can have the talent of the Uchiha family. Kaleidoscopic Sharingan, eyes from the world of Naruto. Uchiha Obito, with the power of God. Remarks, due to the special setting of Sharingan, the ability after fusion will change according to the host's mind. Ordinary group leader. Dancer Uchiha. That be my son. Gold flash. That's it meow. Boil Deiko into soup, Uchiha Obito's eyes. It's still a kaleidoscope. Worst elf, this is luck. Are you sure you are drawing from the same prize pool? Ordinary group leader. There is Huang in this chat group. Ordinary group leader. It turned out to be Uchiha Obito's kaleidoscope Sharingan, and he is so considerate that even Uchiha's blood is ready. Ordinary group leader. Those are the eyes of the space system. Ordinary group leader. Beyond cause and effect and the horizon, the eyes in the realm of the gods. Ordinary group leader. Different dimensions in the field of vision, dazzling space pupil technique. Ordinary group leader. And it's not a single eye, it's a complete kaleidoscope. This is an eye that even Otsutsuki Kagaya Heim can hurt. Ordinary group leader, I want to. Uchiha Obito's kaleidoscope Sharingan is what she wants most among all the kaleidoscopes that Hokage has appeared. It is nothing more than the Kamui's life-saving effect is too strong. Put your real body in another space, any damage in reality can't hurt, although there is a 5-minute limit, but in actual combat, facing an enemy who is completely missed, who will keep attacking him? Unless someone else knows the shortcomings of the virtual power of the gods, does anyone know about her world? Totally no idea, therefore, this shortcoming is almost equal to no rounding up. Boil Daegu into soup. Wait, I really want to find a problem. Boil Daegu into soup, can't you only smoke once? Why do you have two things? Ordinary group leader, that's right, I was so envious just now that I forgot. Ordinary group owner, say, have you found a bug in the chat group? Ordinary group owner, private chat, share it, whispered.jpg. Son of nature. There is a bug in the chat group, not to mention that it is almost impossible, even if there is, why do you think I can find it? He doesn't have this ability, child of nature, I didn't find a bug, there are two things because they came from one person. Son of nature, I drew Obito Uchiha's character template, but unlike what I thought, this character template only has the character's own things, and nothing else. Son of nature, whether it's illusion, body art, ninjutsu, or combat experience and methods, there is nothing that can be learned the day after tomorrow. Ordinary group leader, what version of the character template is this? So cool. Ordinary group leader, if the one drawn is Namikaze Minato, then there is nothing. Gold glitter. I'm really sorry that I don't have blood inheritance limit, but the chat group can even draw things like character templates. Ordinary group leader, what about dad's template? Is there no Jinjin fruit? So is Kwangsan's Kekuri. Ordinary group leader, although I am the group leader, I still have to say something. Ordinary group owner, among the chat groups I have seen, there is no chat group that is more rubbish than you. I, Su Yunqing, would like to call you the weakest. Ding, due to an error in the chat group, the group owner was banned for 3 to 10 minutes. Worst elf. Gold glitter. Uchiha Dance King. Be my son. Boil Daegu into soup. Son of nature, as the group leader, you were banned from the chat group. If you can do it, you can. Son of nature, among the group leaders I have seen, no one is braver than you. I, Bai Xian, would like to call you the strongest. Be my son. Whitebeard, would like to call you the strongest. That's it meow. I, meow meow, would like to call you the strongest. Uchiha Dance King, why do I feel this word is very familiar? Golden flash, if you can, go and see the copy of the memory sent by the group leader. Although Namikaze Minato and Uchiha Madara are considered to be opposite people, their ideas should be the same, and even Uchiha Madara's ideas are more noble than his, because all he wanted was Konoha, and Uchiha Madara set his sights on the peace of the ninja world. All his calculations and schemes are for the peace of the entire ninja world. Even he succeeded in the end, pulling everyone except Naruto and Sasuke into the infinite monthly reading. Everyone is living the most beautiful world. In their hearts, in their dreams. Even if Namake's Minato does not approve of this approach, he is not qualified to say that Uchiha Madara's approach is wrong. It's just a pity that he still failed in the end, losing to the person he trusted the most. Be my son, being betrayed by the person you trust the most is a bad feeling. Boil Daegu into soup. Come here, Madara, I have something to tell you from the bottom of my heart. The most evil elf. But isn't there a Izanagi? Why doesn't Uchiha Madara use it? Izanagi can convert all unfavorable factors, including death, into dreams in a very short period of time. If Uchiha Madara used Izanagi, wouldn't he need to be sacrificed? Son of nature, I don't know. I didn't come up with a convincing explanation on the internet before I crossed over to the fact that Mr. Ban was killed by the hacker. Child of nature, but oh, there's an interesting explanation. Son of nature, in Senjujuma's memories, Uchiha Madara has a weakness that cannot be counted as a weakness, that is, he hates others standing behind him. Son of nature, if Senju Hashirama stands behind him, he won't be able to urinate. Son of nature, smile.jpg. The worst elf, ha 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 ha, what is the explanation for this, ha 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 ha. The most evil elf, I never thought Uchiha Madara would have such a shortcoming, ha 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 ha. Boil Daegu into soup, ha 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 ha, I can't help it, ha 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 ha. Boil Daegu into soup, if someone stands behind, he can't urinate, ha 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 ha. End of this chapter. Chapter 16 Scarlet Firebird, that's all. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Boil Daegu into soup, you can't do it, Mr. Madara. Uchiha Dance King, shut up. You can't. Uchiha Dance King, this is a slander against me. That's not the reason at all. Uchiha Dance King, I'm going to see the memory copy now. Uchiha Dance King, any possibility is possible, but this is absolutely impossible. After finishing speaking, Uchiha Madara went directly to the memory copy. He was not so angry when he heard the news that he was betrayed by the black man. Son of nature, shrug.jpg. Son of nature, I'm going down too, I still need to register here. Son of nature, the timeline of the chat group is really strange. It was 10 o'clock before the awakening of the ability, and now it has been chatting for so long that it has not been a few minutes. Anyway, Bai Xian didn't understand how the timeline of the chat group was calculated, so he shook his head and withdrew from the group. Hearing that Zhang Weiyang, Sun Chang and others were still chatting next to him, he was just about to raise his head to talk to them, when suddenly he felt a little restless and quickly looked towards the sky. A fiery red bird flew towards them like a moving fireball. What it is? Suzaku? Phoenix? Flamingo? No matter what kind it is, it shouldn't be the species that should appear now. Bai Xian frowned. He could sense that the other party was coming towards him. The eyes that were staring at him with killing intent made him extremely uncomfortable. Fuck, what is that? The sun has become a spirit. Sun Chang, who was bragging with Zhang Weiyang, saw Bai Xian's frowning eyes looking at the sky, and subconsciously followed Bai Xian's eyes. His eyes widened, and a civilized phrase came out of his mouth. God Nima's son has become a spirit, it's the golden crow. Are you all colorblind? The sun is orange, and this dam is fiery red, it must be a phoenix. Feng Huang, why didn't you say it was Suzaku? This is a small fireball, probably a mutated firebird. It's normal, we've all awakened our powers, and it's normal for the other party to have a firebird. Following Sun Chang's exclamation, a group of people also discovered the firebird in the sky, and discussed excitedly. However, as the discussion gradually deepened, their topic seemed to have changed. The monsters in the novel seem to be delicious, but I don't know about this bird. Hiss, Watson, you have discovered your blind spot. It's from Bashu, my hometown. It looks spicy. You guys won't be able to eat it. Let me try it. Bashu. Bashu is considered a ball. My hometown is Nanjong, now Kainan. I have to be the one who eats spicy food. Bashu. Nanjong. No way, can these two places eat spicy food? Did I talk to Zhejiang? Several students from provinces that can eat spicy food argued with their heads on top of their heads. If you are more spicy than others, then they don't care, but you want to compare spicy food? Who is afraid of who? That. Is it too early for us to discuss this now? Let's not talk about whether the country should arrest it for research. Should we avoid it now? Looking at the direction, it seems to be coming towards us. A man next to Sun Chang said hesitantly, and then everyone greeted him with contemptuous eyes. Escape. So many of us are afraid of a bird. Don't forget, we all have awakened abilities. Everyone has just awakened, who is afraid of whom? Not only Bai Xian and the others found out, but also people from several other classes on the playground, including the officials from the previous level. The principal opened his mouth to stabilize the situation, but before he could open his mouth, the mutated bird had already flown to the playground, its crimson eyes fixed on Bai Xian who was in the crowd. Grind. Without hesitation, one spewed out a fierce and high-temperature flame from its mouth, pointing at the crowd, but the faces of the crowd changed, and they hid back one after another, cursing in their mouths. I'll wipe it. It really is a Firebird, really Nima is breathing fire. Damn, why is this flame so big? Everyone awakened at the same time. Why is mine bigger than a lighter, and it's so big? Bullshit, of course you can't do it, otherwise, everyone is taught by the same teacher, so why are there so many differences in grades? Shut up when it's done. The most important thing now is to kill it. This beast dares to hurt people, it simply doesn't take us humans seriously. The problem is that the gap is a bit big. Why don't we wait for the military to deal with it? That while they were discussing, a young man with a school uniform in the shape of a cloak and a handsome face walked up to everyone at some point and said arrogantly. The spiritual energy is revived, the ability is awakened, and everyone has the possibility to change their fate. But that doesn't mean humans have become equal, it could be a higher class difference than it is now. What determines this gap is talent. Give it to me. This power is enough to open the gap with the mediocre at the beginning of the spiritual recovery. My road to the peak of Lei Fei starts today. Thunder, gather. Z. As the other party's voice fell, the blue-purple arc converged in his right hand, and he stepped forward with one step, directly rushing towards the Firebird at a speed that was hard to see with the naked eye. The fist wrapped in lightning landed directly on the wings of the Firebird, leaving faint scorched marks on it. But Firebird looked at the human in front of him with red eyes, then at the black spots on his feathers, and tilted his head, seems to say that's it. Boom! He flapped his wings casually, and directly flew him out, drawing a beautiful arc in the sky and then landed heavily on the ground. Everyone looked at him from the beginning. Who is this? It looks like there is something wrong with this pretense compared to arriving. The thunder surrounded by the naked eye can be seen in that hand, and the lightning-like speed. This boy is actually terrifying so. And then you've said so much and this is the end? I can do it with me. Don't look, the bones are broken. Hiss, it's really Nima's pain. If I had known that this Firebird was so powerful, I wouldn't have pretended. And it's too strong, are you sure it's not cheating? Lei Fei fell to the ground, wailing and complaining. He observed all morning and found that other people's abilities were worse than his by 1/30. He thought he would be a genius. In the end, it was instantly killed by a Firebird. Getting killed in seconds wasn't the worst thing, it was because he pretended to be incompetent and got crushed instead. Society die. Tai Shi is dead. The students around him hesitated for a moment and didn't know whether they should go up to help. After all, in this era of popular short videos, they also know that random movement may aggravate each other's injuries. The best thing to do is wait for an ambulance. But as things stand, end of this chapter. Chapter 17 The Thunder Light from Nature, the Arrogance of the New Era. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What are you afraid of? If he was really seriously injured, he wouldn't be able to say so much. I don't know who said it, and the other students also understood, and then some people went up to lift him up and ran towards the infirmary. His social death is much more serious than mine. Sun Chang watched Lei Fei go away with complex and joyful eyes. With Lei Fei here, there should be no students who would stare at him again. Lei Fei, good man. Is this the point? Are we sure we don't want to run? Run. Then there has to be a leader. Whoever doesn't have a leader has the guts to run away. My instinct doesn't allow me to escape, you know what I mean. The instinct of Chinese people goes deep into their DNA. Isn't it just to watch the fun? It's so mysterious. Listening to their words, Bai Xian didn't know what to say for a while. When faced with danger, what he thought about was watching the fun and not wanting to be the leading brother, afraid of being ashamed. This idea is very student, but the students are fine. Why don't your school leaders and teachers take any action? And the security guards on the playground, isn't it good that you are looking at it so leisurely and still smiling? Are you sure you don't want to solve this problem? If Bai Xian didn't know that the Firebird was coming for him, he would have thought it was a training arranged by the school. Everyone seems to know everything. Forget it, don't come to me. Bai Xian shook his head, a blue light flashed in his eyes. Boom! There was a roar between the sky and the earth, and the sudden thunder made everyone subconsciously look at the sky. I saw a blue-white thunder roaring out of the sky, like a thunder dragon roaring, tearing open the sky, and falling directly on the Firebird. Lightning flashed. Blue and white arcs danced wantonly. When the thunder light dissipated, the entire playground was filled with a strong burnt atmosphere, and the crimson fire feather in the thunder also turned into a scorched black corpse at this moment, lying on the ground without the slightest breath of life. Fuck. Justice from heaven. Everyone stared dumbfounded at this unbelievable scene, expressing their shock in civilized language. They thought about many situations in which the Firebird would be killed, such as police firearms, siege, or a genius with supernatural powers, but they never thought it would be justice from heaven. What kind of evil did this do? Justice from heaven in broad daylight. Not only the students, but even the teachers and the security guards on the edge of the playground are also confused. This is not right. It seems to be different from what was discussed. Touching the bulging waist, their eyes were full of surprise and bewilderment. Didn't they agree that they would come to show their holiness in front of people? Let the students know that even if they awaken their abilities, they must abide by the law. The power of technology is beyond their imagination, but they looked at each other one by one, and then shook their heads helplessly. Or leave it to your superiors. At the same time, a woman in military uniform showed a surprised expression as if she had sensed something. Huiyu, what's wrong? The man next to him looked at him and asked strangely. My Scarlet Flame Bird is dead. Huiyu said strangely. We didn't arrange it. The red flame bird quilt itself was destined to die, whether it was to warn the students or to show the power of the gun. Its death could be said to be inevitable. This kind of guy who can only spray flames and has a good defense is not important at all. With Huiyu's ability, it is not difficult to summon 100 Scarlet Flame Birds, so no matter in Huiyu's eyes or in the eyes of the country, Huiyu's birds are not an important resource. No, it's not the death of guns, it's the thunder that comes from nature. Are you sure it's the thunder of nature? It's not a lightning-type superhuman. If it's the latter, then he can be excited that a genius has appeared in the country, but if it's the former, are you sure you didn't make a mistake? It must be the thunder of nature. Huiyu nodded, but shook his head again. The possibility of being a supernatural being cannot be ruled out. But if it is a person with supernatural powers, the other party's supernatural abilities are by no means inferior to mine. The ability she awakened is, summon, fire, which can summon fire-type living and non-living bodies from different worlds. Moreover, her talent potential is extremely high. It is not that no one else in the army has awakened the ability to summon, but there is no one who can easily summon 100 fire feather birds like her. Of course, there are also peerless geniuses in other abilities, possessing the ability. Shenlong, Qin Tian is able to resist firearms in the early stage of spiritual recovery, and can control wind, rain, and thunder, possessing the ability, light of life. Yifeng can expel diseases and heal injuries. Even half-dead people can be easily cured, possessing the ability, strength of extreme cold. When awakened, the entire barracks was covered in ice and snow, and the condensed ice shield could not even be pierced by bullets. there is also Wang Ming who has awakened, mechanical affinity, Ning Guang who has awakened, mist, and Chen Changxing who has awakened, longevity. Their abilities are truly terrifying. Even Hui Yu didn't feel that he was stronger than them, of course, he didn't feel that he was inferior to them, as Lei Fei said, the revival of spiritual energy gives everyone the possibility to change their destiny, but this does not mean that everyone becomes equal, but will usher in a greater class gap. Talent is something that no one can ignore. If it is said that learning can minimize the gap with geniuses through hard work and upper limit, then the ability is to really widen the distance between the two. For example, Hui Yu, even if she summoned just one Qian bird, it instantly killed Lei Fei, who was much more talented than others, and she could easily summon hundreds of Qian birds like this. Can such a gap be made up by hard work? Even if it can catch up, how long will it take? A month, 2 months, or 6 months, or even a year? Didn't they make any progress in this year? No, their progress must be much more. Send me a copy after the ability registration of Hangzhou Middle School is completed. Let the people from the Weather Bureau analyze the reason for the thunder in Hangzhou today. Hui Yu said lightly. It is good. After completing the registration, Bai Xian thought he could go back. After all, such a trip happened, but he didn't expect to be arranged to listen to the meeting for an hour. The general content is to hope that students can control their abilities well, and don't use them indiscriminately and don't hurt others. After omitting the old-fashioned things, there are some things that make Bai Xian more interested. End of this chapter. Chapter 18, The Power of Natural Authority, the Gap Between the European Emperor and the African Ch. You are listening at novelfull.audio. If, for example, now there are mutated beasts similar to the previous Firebirds in Huaxiao, and there are also powers that can improve their abilities by exercising their physique and using their abilities. The country does not object to the people having great power, but only hopes to use this power in the right way. Don't bully the weak, don't cause trouble, don't hurt people, don't break the law. In short, what should be said and what should be reminded, as the principal, he has already said. And the rest can only rely on the self-consciousness of the students. If they don't listen and do bad things, then only the law will greet them. After the meeting, Bai Xian was ready to go back with his school bag on his back, but before he went back, he unexpectedly received invitations from Zhang Weiyang, Sun Chang and others. Let's go, Xiao Bai, go for a run. Didn't you say that exercise can improve your ability? We plan to spend an hour a day on exercise. Would you like to go? That when you usually say you want to exercise, you don't have the excited expression now. You go. Bai Xian shook his head and directly refused. He has a dedicated gym at home, and if he wants to exercise, he can go back and exercise. That's the benefit of being rich. Another point is that because of natural authority, his ability is improving every moment. Even if he does not exercise, it's like the limiter, activated by Saitama Sensei. It's just that the other party opened it by his own willpower, but he was bestowed by God. Although this kind of power came too easily, he just didn't refuse it. If you want to go, you'd better hurry up. The school only has a playground, but there are quite a few people who have awakened their abilities. The thoughts in his mind were fleeting. Bai Xian kindly reminded after rejecting. Zhang Weiyang, Sun Chang and others were shocked when they heard Bai Xian's words, and ran away with their schoolbags. They were afraid that they would lose their place. This appearance, if the physical education teacher saw it, he would die of laughter. Shrugging his shoulders, Bai Xian left the school with his schoolbag on his back. On the way home, he could see some people showing their abilities from time to time. After all, with such a large value, the authorities have already announced the matter of the ability. They no longer need to hide it, and even started to show it off. As for people who want to rely on their own abilities to do bad things, they haven't appeared yet. It's not that they don't want to, but that they are simply too weak to put their ideas into practice. After returning home, put away the school bag. Then lie on the rocking chair and enter the chat group. At this time, the chat group is still arguing about the lottery, but this time the debate is no longer Uchiha Madara, Deiko and Whitebeard, but the entire chat group. The worst elf, I will definitely win the lottery ticket for your patronage. The worst elf, please explain to me what is meant by a lottery ticket that will definitely be scratched, and thank you for your patronage. Worst elf, who would want such a thing? Huh? Who would want such a thing? No matter what, Tokisaki Kurumi never thought that he would get such a wonderful thing. What a chat group that embraces everything. You really have everything. You boiled Daegu into soup, although I didn't draw any good things, but now after seeing you, I actually feel that my luck is pretty good. Boiled Daegu into soup, this is the happiness between people. Boiled Daegu into soup, ha 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 ha, postpartum care of sows, such a skill that always makes people feel a little weird. With the help of Master Madara, Dad, and Kwang-san, he actually thinks it is very good. Worst elf, angry.jpg. Ordinary group owner, thank you for your patronage. Mine is wrong. Ordinary group leader, Xiao Shiba's free plastic surgery once. Ordinary group leader, she is a standard three-dimensional beauty, who needs plastic surgery from Kimchi Kingdom, you bastard. Su Yunchin got angry when he saw what he had drawn. Even before she transmigrated, she was still a beautiful girl with crescent eyebrows and white teeth, curvy eyebrows and plump cheeks, and a natural quality. Even if she can't compare to two-dimensional beauties like Kwang-san, Nami, and Hinata, not everyone can compare. At least she hasn't seen a few people who are prettier than herself since she was a child. Although she couldn't cultivate because of her physical condition after time travel, her face was still stunning, even more beautiful than in her previous life, and she didn't need any cosmetic surgery at all. This is an insult to her in the chat group. Ordinary group leader, and I am the group leader. There is no chat group leader who is so wrong. Ordinary group leader, isn't only people with the highest luck in each world able to join the chat group? Luck and luck should be linked. How could my luck be so bad? Ordinary group leader, shady, this is definitely a shady. Golden flash, that. Actually, I think it's just luck. Golden flash, Meow Meow got the devil fruit, by Shien got Obito's kaleidoscope Sharingan and bloodline, and I also got the Uzumaki clan's physique. Ordinary group leader, shut up, you European emperor. Be my son, shut up, you European emperor. Worst elf, shut up, you European emperor. Boil Daegu into soup, shut up, you O Huang. Son of nature, shut up, you European emperor. Uchiha dance king, shut up, you. Huh. Something seems wrong. Uchiha dance king, why did you appear in the team? A guy who has drawn Obito Uchiha's kaleidoscope, what right does he have to say that someone else is the emperor of Europe? That is the ability of the space system. Even he is a little envious. Ordinary group leader, that's right, I wouldn't have noticed if Master Ban hadn't said it. Ordinary group leader, would you mind if you, a European emperor, join in? Su Yunqing bit her lip, with tears in her eyes, said angrily in the group, the reason why my eyes often have tears is because of my deep anger towards O Huang. I am also a time traveler. Why am I a non-chief? I don't accept it. Boil Daegu into soup, that's it. Son of nature, hand spread.jpg. Son of nature, I can't do anything about luck. Son of nature, and isn't it just Uchiha Obito's kaleidoscope Sharingan? Isn't it just a mere spacetime ninjutsu? Son of nature, why are everyone so excited? Ordinary group leader, he is Versailles. This guy is in the group Versailles. Ordinary group leader, I miss Versailles too, woo woo woo. Son of nature. Tang Tang, a group leader mixed like this, didn't know what to say, and it looked a little pitiful. The novel has just been signed, and the author is about to start depositing the manuscript. At present, it should be 1 page per day, and it will be 2 chapters a day when the water is tested. If there are no accidents, it should not be a few days, so I have to hurry up and save the manuscript. Finally, thank you readers for your great support. By the way, I would like to ask for recommendation tickets and monthly tickets. Dear friends, I will keep writing this one. End of this chapter. Chapter 19, The Way to Get Points, A Righteous Tiga. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Boil Daegu into soup, it's just one time, and the good things will definitely come later. Boil Daegu into soup, especially after newcomers join. There are only a few people in the current chat group, and both Daegu, Su Yunqing, and Bai Xian are all modern worldviews. Although they all have mysterious elements, they are pitifully few compared with technological items. Therefore, we still have to wait until new group members join, especially those with a mysterious worldview. then it will be a good time for the real lottery draw. Worst elf, that's what I said, but the time for newcomers to join is not fixed at all, and I don't know when the next time someone will join. The most evil elf. Besides, we have to think about how to get the points. Tokisaki Kurumi rubbed his head. If he wants to draw a lottery, he needs points, and the points can only be exchanged at present. What is more valuable in her world? Spirit crystal. If she sold the spirit crystal, maybe the Cun elf would jump out and kill her, before the strength is not enough to compete with it. This road is not easy to go, so DEM or AST technology. Those guys' things should be worth a lot of points, right? Boil Daegu into soup. If the pyramid comes out, I will go in earlier and sell the 2 stone statues except Tiga. Boil Daegu into soup. There are also those monsters, their corpses should also be worth a lot of points. Boil Daegu into soup. Sure enough, I still need to practice more melee combat. The light will destroy the corpse. It will be bad if the points recovered are reduced. Daegu has nothing to say. There are only 2 ways he can get points, and these 2 are enough for him. Ordinary group leader. What a righteous Tiga. Ordinary group leader. He didn't even let the stone statue of Otto go. Boil Daegu into soup. Anyway, it will be destroyed by Gorzon. Rather than being broken and wasted, it's better for me to sell the lottery to become stronger. Boil Daegu into soup. The earth can be better protected at that time. Boil Daegu into soup. Righteous words. JPG. Son of nature. Well said. Uchiha dance king. Well said. Be my son. Well said. Worst elf. Well said. Uchiha dance king. That should be done. Ordinary group owner. Gold glitter. Dagudu was brought down by you chaotic attribute guys. Son of nature. Think about it carefully. After earning points, you don't have to draw a lottery. You can also use it to trade with group members. Son of nature. After selling the stone statue, you can exchange some points for Uchiha Madara's taijutsu, or Whitebeard's taijutsu. The taijutsu level of the 2 of them is undoubtedly the pinnacle of their respective worlds. Son of nature. Uchiha Madara is more about skills, the killing skills trained in life and death fighting. The last pair of ninja coalition forces killing skills like clouds and flowing water don't need me to say more. Son of nature. Dad's words may be because of the animation's expressive forms, which are relatively open and closed, and they all show the power of the shocking fruit and the domineering power of the armed color. In fact, there are not many skills displayed. Son of nature. But if you look at the settings, the pirate world is stronger than the Naruto world in terms of physical skills alone, and Dad's physical skills are also at the top of the pirate world. Even if there is no shaking fruit, Dad, there are still few opponents. Son of nature. Is it said that red envelopes can send abilities? If you can't send me this analysis, it will be useless. He just remembered that this chat group is different from the one he saw in the novel. The ability to send red envelopes is almost a common setting in chat group novels in previous lives. I don't know if this chat group exists. If not, then it will be assumed that he didn't say anything. Ordinary group leader. Boil Daegu into soup. Worst elf. Uchiha dance king. Be my son. We listened carefully to you and analyzed so much, but you suddenly asked this, son of nature, what's wrong? It's been 2 days since I joined the chat group, I don't know if it's normal. Son of nature, and none of you gave me red envelopes. Ordinary group leader, that's true. Ordinary group owner, red envelopes can be used to send abilities, but if you send them, you will lose them. Ordinary group leader, physical skills are probably the same. Son of nature, TSK, really awesome. The most evil elf, TSK, really. Ordinary group leader, TSK, really awesome. Gold flash, TSK, really law. Boil Daegu into soup, nodding in agreement. JPG. Boil Daegu into soup, then what should I do? Continue to draw prizes. Deiko also nodded regretfully. If he could directly get the combat experience of Whitebeard and Uchiha Madara, it would be much easier to fight monsters, but unfortunately not. Bai Xian touched his chin, thought for a while, and then said, son of nature, then replace Uchiha Madara with a pair of 3 God Jade Sharingan, and Whitebeard's three-color domineering cultivation method. Son of nature, anyway, after transforming into Tiga, you can be regarded as having energy that can be consumed. Son of nature, the transformation time is up to 3 minutes and then reduced a little, it can't be too much. Tiga's huge and extreme light, if you let a 3-god jade writing sharing I absorb it, it will not consume much until it absorbs it to death. Boil Daegu into soup, that's it. Boil Daegu into soup, can I change it? Be my son, ku la la la, be bold and Daegu. Be my son, this is a reciprocal transaction. Uchiha Dance King, don't underestimate my size. Just like what Whitebeard said, this is a transaction of equals, and points are even more important, but there are more uncertainties. Just like what Whitebeard said, this is a transaction of equals, and points are even more important, but there are more uncertainties. But it doesn't matter, anyway, what they pay is not worth much. Worst elf, as far as the luck of the two of you is concerned, I don't think this is an equal deal at all. Worst elf, you two, stop pulling out a steel pipe and a doll. Ordinary group leader, that's it. Uchiha Dance King, only you two are not qualified to say us. One must be a lottery ticket to thank you for your patronage, and one has plastic surgery. How much better can the two of you be than us? Golden Flash, ha 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 ha. That's it. Meow, meow meow licking claw. JPG, I want to try to earn points too, meow. That's it. Meow, if you can get good things and hand them over to the boss, maybe I can replace you. Hee hee hee. End of this chapter. Chapter 20 Changes in Strength Caused by Subjective Consciousness, Thinking About Issues from the PE. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Perspective of God, thinking of the scene where she was caressed in Sakagi Daidai's arms, a foolish smile appeared on Meow Meow's face. I didn't see Musashi and Kojiro looking at him more and more weirdly. Meow Meow seems to have been acting silly recently. Did she get stunned by Pikachu? Sure enough, it's better to take it to have a look recently. Yeah. In the next few days, Bai Xian's life was extremely peaceful, go to school during the day, and come back to exercise at night. The excitement of the students getting supernatural powers also gradually faded along with the ordinary life these days, and finally returned to normal. Zhang Weiyang, Sun Chang and others who originally talked about exercising and going for a morning jog after school gave up their plan after 2 days of persistence. Is playing games not good, or is it boring to read novels? Completing the 3rd year of high school is already tiring enough, and I still need to exercise, so I can't hold it at all, okay? So, that's it. There are a few people who have not awakened their abilities before, but they are slightly weaker in strength, not as strong as the original people's ability to awaken, although the initial awakening is quite weak. Boom! Crack! Bai Xian clenched his fist, and there were crisp sounds between his fingers, and the sound of punching through the air was easily made when he swung his fist in the air. With the exercise, his physical fitness is also rapidly becoming stronger, and this speed is a bit scary. Previously, it was only the ability that was improved, but now even the physique is also added, correspondingly. His growth in abilities has slowed down a bit, but this slowness is only compared with his current physical enhancement speed. If compared with other abilities, his progress is still terrifying. And in the past few days of research on himself and natural authority, he also knew the reason why his physique began to become stronger and the growth of abilities became slower, all because of his subjective consciousness. In the beginning, his ability grew rapidly because he didn't care about his growth in other aspects, and natural authority was related to the nature of the earth. The benefits of spiritual recovery to the natural world are beyond doubt. Every creature becomes stronger, and as the owner of natural authority, he will also become stronger. Although the proportions are different, it can't stand a large amount. This kind of strengthening is fixed. Even if that creature dies, Bai Xian will not become weaker because of its death. Now his physique is growing rapidly because he has started to exercise. Subjectively, he believes that his own strength should not ignore his body, so, natural authority uses half or more of his strength to improve Bai Xuan's physique, but all this is not without cost. Bai Xian is deeply aware of this. Even Saitama, who is called the king of hanging in One Punch Man, has paid for his hair and emotions. What, you say Reinhardt? Can it be the same? That is the author's father. As for the price Bai Xian has to pay, honestly, he himself does not know. Even if he asked the chat group only replied with one sentence: as the owner of natural authority, you need to undertake the tasks entrusted to you by this planet. When you learn to observe the world from the perspective of God and think about problems. What the chat group said was quite mysterious. Anyway, Bai Xian didn't understand. Just wait until the moment he becomes a god, he will know it. Naturally, he clenched his fist and punched the sandbag. Boom! Accompanied by a loud noise, Bai Xian's right hand directly penetrated into the sandbag. This kind of power, I probably never dared to imagine in the past. Bai Xian shook his head. This was only a part of his strength, even less than 1/10. If the ability is added, it will be even more terrifying. There is also Obito Uchiha's eyes, and the kaleidoscope Sharingan with Kamui has become another ability after being fused by me. Although I saw it in the notes of the chat group before, I didn't expect that even the essence would change. But it really suits me better than Kamui. Left eye, Oracle. What I say is what God says, and what I say is what God says. God said, let there be light. Then, there was light. God said, let there be a sky between the waters, and divide the water into upper and lower. So he created the sky and separated the upper and lower waters. Within your tolerance, every word you say will come true. Right eye, Oracle reverse. Executing power on behalf of heaven, you must be punished. Human personality is not enough to use the power of God. When you are not enough to bear the price, you can transfer the price to others. Remarks, God is fair, except for you. Remarks, I suspect that you have an affair with the world consciousness. Obviously, judging from the comments in the chat group, we know how terrifying the ability of these eyes is, and even the chat group doubts whether Bai Xian and the world consciousness have secrets that cannot be revealed otherwise. Why was this ability born? What, you say these two abilities are the reflection of Bai Xian's heart? Sharingan was born with these two abilities under the influence of Bai Xian's heart. Do you believe this? Anyway, the chat group doesn't believe it. Leaving aside whether Bai Xian has such an idea, even if he has Sharingan, it is impossible to portray such a terrifying ability. Otherwise, Amaterasu would not be able to burn people to death, and Shinwei would not have shortcomings. If there is no reason for the world consciousness, it will withdraw Su Yunqing's group leader and let Bai Xian be the leader. Su Yunqing. Su Yunqing, please turn on the voice communication. Bai Xian didn't know what to say about these two perverted abilities derived from the kaleidoscope. It was too terrifying. It's really scary. The former exercised the power of God in a human body, while the latter transferred the price to other people. Is it wrong for me to say that I am God? Even if it is only within the range of his own tolerance, it is enough to set off its strength. He even wondered if he really had an affair with the world consciousness. Otherwise, why would it belong to natural authority and Oracle? I'm really curious about how I will grow up in the future. With the blessing of the earth and the help of the chat group, he is looking forward to the day when he grows up. Shaking his head, Bai Xian was going to eat something. Since subjective consciousness has paid more attention to physical fitness, not only has the speed of physical fitness increased, but the speed of hunger has also greatly accelerated. I used to be able to eat food for a week, but now I can support it for a day at most. Fortunately, he is not short of money, otherwise the food expenses alone would be enough for him to have a headache. After putting on his clothes and tidying up briefly, Bai Xian walked out of the house. I walked around the street and found a buffet, and walked in without hesitation. Although he is not short of money, the most important thing for him now is to be full, not to taste delicious food. The buffet is a great option. End of this chapter.